Rythmia family. They got safe that I could call whoever is viewing this part of the Rythmia family. So good to have you here joining us live this special Sunday. Every Sunday is a special Sunday. I recognize that today there is something else going on in the world that a few of you people might be very excited about. Super Bowl Sunday. What is today? February 7th? February 8th? I don't even know what day it is today. February 7th. Amazing. Not that I should date this, because there'll be plenty of people, I'm sure, scanning this video in the days and weeks to come as they research Rythmia, Life Advancement Center in sunny Guanacaste, Costa Rica, where we are coming to you live from. I am currently in our outdoor fruits bar, which is an offshoot of Roots Restaurant, which is the on-site restaurant here at Rythmia, where we serve a ayahuasca-friendly, highly plant-based, organic, as much as possible, farm-to-table style buffet menu that I have designed and curated the recipes and the menus for over the last, well, since 2016. So this is the 5th year that I am a part of the team here at Rythmia. Here at Rythmia, we have a lot of really cool stuff going on. World-renowned guest speakers come down here and speak in our workshops. We have classes as part of our regular weekly program on metaphysical teaching, integration with plant medicine as the focus. We have on-site holistic team that teaches yoga, meditation, breath work, obviously some plant medicine ceremonies, mud bath, spa, sauna, you name it, we've got it here as this part of our all-inclusive retreat. So if you are curious about Rythmia, call the 1-866 number that you see on the lower part of your screen. Talk to one of our reservation specialists, no obligation, get a bit more information, and then book with us. We've got a little bit of room left still for this year, and I think that this time in the world is when this healing is the most necessary. So enough about Rythmia. Now for a little bit about me. Just kidding. So my name is Meg. I am, like I mentioned, in charge of the food here. I created the menus. I have an amazing team that now takes care of all of my recipes and the day-to-day, and I do many other things here. I teach yoga. I teach some of the plant integration classes. I teach workshops. I'm also work closely with our guest speakers that come through here, among a few other things, working in the ceremonies and things like that. And I'm super, super excited to be here with you guys to share some information that I have to offer you guys here today. Hey, Terry and Tiana from Australia and the UK. Cool. So everyone else that's hopping on here, please let me know where you're watching from. Always really curious to know where our viewers are joining us from. We've got someone here this week already I've met for this week's retreat from Austria. A lot of people from the USA, United States of America. We had some Canadians last week as well, so people from all over. Really, really cool. We had some people from Italy last week. So people are still coming here despite what's going on in the world. And I think it's really, really important that this healing work gets out there. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit. Hey, Chris from California. JG is saying cool tattoos. Thank you. Deb's watching from Northern New York. Levi, who is my partner in life and baby daddy, is watching from our living room about half hour from Rythmia right now with my 18-month-old daughter. So great. Happy to have you joining here. She's probably pointing at the TV screen saying, Mama, Mama, like she does to all of the pictures of me in various places, including on the back cover of my most recent cookbook, Food Fun with Meg. So I know that, oh no, it's not backwards. So you guys can see that this is my most recent cookbook. I've had a lot of people asking me about it over social media on Instagram, at Chef Meg Pearson for my Instagram account, if you want to connect there and see what I got going on. This is my most recent cookbook. This one includes recipes from the last 3+ years doing these Facebook Lives here at Rythmia. So this is the really fun stuff, the recipes that I like to teach in these weekly online workshops. This is one of my most requested recipes right here. Soca style pizzas. I serve it on the buffet here on every second Friday at Rythmia. Simple salads. This one is a fun one, pizzadilla. So think quesadilla, but pizza style, delicious. Sheet pan meals, which is really great for busy families. Lots of plant-based meals. So these are black bean meatballs. A lot of really, really fun stuff in here, guys. So this one, as well as my other 2 Rythmia cookbooks, Rythmia Miracle Meals and Miracle Meals 2.0, available on Amazon. So I wanted to mention that here. So what's today's topic? Today is It's All Perfect Peanut Butter Cup. Perfectly imperfect is this life. Hi there, Maru is watching. So good to see you. Hi, sweetheart. So happy to have you here. Anne says, congrats on the baby. Thank you. My mother, Terry Pearson, is also watching. Hi, Terry. Mom and I, we were on FaceTime earlier this morning. Someone says, I hope to meet you when I return to Rythmia for Taita Week in August. Amazing. We can't wait to have you here. Sonic Liberation. I wonder what is that your real name? Is that your birth name, Sonic Liberation? I'm assuming not. Mannequin is watching from Las Vegas. We have a couple guests here from Las Vegas this week, actually, that just arrived. I just met them at lunch. Super fun. Okay, so good to have you guys all here. So what does this mean? It's all perfect, Buttercup. To be honest, when I choose my topics for each week of this Facebook Live, I choose it a month in advance, and I don't really know what I'm going to say until the day of. I knew I was going to make some sort of peanut butter cup today for you guys live, and what was I going to talk about? What does it mean? It's all perfect. Well, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the person on the podcast was talking about the idea of seasons in life, right? We all connect to the idea that there are seasons in the world, right? Especially in places like Canada, the US, where there are a lot of those regions, there are very defined seasons. I'm from Toronto, Canada area, where there's a very defined spring, a very defined summer, fall and winter month, right? And we know what goes along with all of those things. Spring, new life, freshness, green grass. You know, what represents spring but baby animals, new flower growth, the grass coming through of the dead, seemingly dead earth, left over from the cold of winter. And then we move into summer, where it's like this freedom, this joy, this almost like liberated creation process, right? The summer is when things are really come into bloom. And a lot of our foods and fruits and vegetables are coming into maturation and the creation. And then we move into the autumn, where all of the harvest, all of the beautiful hard work from the spring and summer comes into tangible benefit, where we get to harvest the fruits and vegetables, where we get to also start practicing release as the leaves begin to fall off the trees and the autumn winds come, the winds of change, as we transition into winter, which is, I always thought of as a time of hibernation, of rest, rejuvenation, before we then move back into spring, the rebirth process. And I just wanted to talk a bit about how that pertains to us in our lifestyle and how we're constantly cyclical. You know, women, we're cyclical by every single month. We're different as the month goes on based on our hormones and the part of our moon cycle that we're in. Men are cyclical every single 24 hours. We're also cyclical in our life depending what's going on. And I was thinking about, how 2020, the majority of that year, was very much spent in receptive mode, a pause mode, a waiting mode, right? When the world shut down with what went on in 2020, we are all kind of just hanging around, hoping, wondering, and just starting to prepare for what life would be like when the pandemic would eventually be declared over. But I know a lot of other people were starting to really feel things coming up for them, and things that needed to be healed. So they were feeling very, very receptive to the awareness of things in their life that was no longer serving them, and starting to let that go. And also incubating. I think that 2020 was also a very big incubation time. I know for myself, it was a lot of, figuring out what I wanted in the future. There was a bit of action involved in that, but very quickly, as soon as I started trying to act too much on these ideas, I quickly got burnt out, because I'm supposed to be in a winter kind of mode. And the minute I tried to get too much into spring too soon, I found myself exhausted. I found myself getting stressed out, and my health suffered, and my emotional health definitely suffered. So I, just recognizing as we're in different phases in our life, and going with the flow in each phase. I look back right now that I feel like I'm in a bit of a spring phase again. I've been really thinking a lot about what it is I want out of life, what changes I want to make, what new projects I want to birth. Well, another baby sometime soon. So it's in that spring phase where it's almost like, I'm dipping my toe into what is possible, starting to make small action steps towards that, but not in that really free spirit summer flow state just yet, and recognizing that eventually I will get there. Or perhaps I'll go right straight from spring to fall, where I'll begin again releasing some of those ideas, and realizing that our cycles on an internal level never have to correspond with how they typically are linearly set out when it comes to the seasons in the world at large. It doesn't have to go, you know, spring does not have to follow winter, and summer does not have to follow spring. It can be, you know, rearranged depending on what's going on in our life and our circumstance and our intention, because so much of it is about intention. So if you want to, you know, have me hear about me talk about this a bit more, I'm going to be writing a bit more about it on the blog, and I'll probably touch on this a lot more in the coming weeks, because I think it's a really important lesson for all of us to remember, you know, that we are cyclical and we don't always have to be in the go do mode of summer. We also don't, you know, we shouldn't always be in that slow, receptive, quiet, hibernating mode of winter, that we need to be cyclical. And it's all perfect, whatever phase you're in. Even if you're in a completely different phase than your loved ones, the people around you, or the world at large, honor that. You know, be with whatever season you are in your life, and all good things will come. All right. Let's see, who else is watching here? Krista Lynn says, thanks for your videos. I love them. Also from Vegas. Lots of people watching from Vegas. Super fun. Mannequin says, I love the consciousness of tapping into the flow of the natural cycle and being receptive. Yeah, we have to be really receptive and connect to our natural cycle and flow, for sure. What is a natural part of my daily cycle? Peanut butter cups. Ask Levi, he's watching my part. We eat them almost every single night after dinner. So I want to show you guys a version of a recipe that I've been making for a long time, off and on. I was making it for clients a lot, and I've been making for my family. So this is going to be a little bit of a twist on what I've been making at home lately, and it's going to be a cashew peanut butter cup. I'm going to show you from start to finish how you can do this virtually from scratch at home. So right here in my blender, which you guys can't really see right now, I'm going to just slide this over here. Whoop. I have the beginning stages of some cashew butter. So what have I done? I have thrown into a blender some cashews. This is just these are some toasted, unsalted cashew nuts. Whoop. Hey, DeLacy, you're going to be here next Sunday. Super exciting. Can't wait to have you here. Awesome. Bruce is saying, thanks. He's watching from Phoenix, Arizona. Levi is saying, my peanut butter cups are amazing. Yeah. Lita says, hey, hello, good to see you. Thank you for today. Thank you for watching. Peanut butter cups, my fave, yes. But today we're doing a cashew version. So this is cashews, not salted. You could use salted. I like salty and sweet. And what I've got here is about a cup and a half worth of cashews that I've already got in there blended. I'm going to add these ones in here so I can do this for you guys live. And then I always like to add in, when I'm making nut butters at home, especially if I'm not using a high-powered blender, but even when I am, I always add in coconut oil, because I find it not only helps with the blending process, but I like the addition of this really good fat into my nut butters. When I'm eating a ton of nuts, my digestive system sometimes suffers. So adding in the coconut oil, which is a fat that my body really likes, eases up the tension on my digestive system. So I'm going to add a generous amount of coconut oil. Now that is going to help blend it. It's going to give a delicious flavor, because this is a unrefined coconut oil, so it has a delicious coconut flavor. I'm going to add in some Himalayan sea salt, because those cashews were unsalted and I love salty and sweet. I'm also going to add, you know what, before I get too far, I'm going to blend this up before I start adding in my other stuff. So this is just the nut butter base. So if you're making nut butter at home, this is all you need. Whatever nuts you're using, cashews are great when you're doing it at home, because they are quite soft by nature, so they blend up into a butter a lot like a whole almond would. But here we go. Amazing. Now this blender makes short work of it. Whoop. Let's see. Look at that. Working on the focus. You can see that it's creamy. You can see that there's no whole cashews in there. Camera's not cooperating. What if I move it back a little bit? There we go. Tilt it forward a bit more. Look at that. There we go. There you go. You can see it. Creamy deliciousness. And that Vitamix, this back on the blender now. That Vitamix blender does short work. So that's why I love these high-powered blenders. Now, because I want to add a little bit of a different flavor to this, because cashews, we all love the taste of cashews. I like combining them with peanut butter. I already have some peanut butter, because this is how I buy peanut butter. When I'm not making it at home, I buy it in big buckets, because I love peanut butter. I eat it every single day. It's my favorite thing. It's been one of my favorite things since I was a kid. My daughter loves it too. Whenever I'm making peanut butter cups, she's always licking the spatula and the spoon. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to grab a big old scoop. This is peanut butter. You could make your own peanut butter. Peanuts also blend up real nice in the blender, just like the cashews, because they're quite soft by nature. Just don't make sure you're not buying any flavored, like you don't want key lime or salted lime flavored peanuts or something like that for your peanut butter cups. So then I'm going to combine the two. So then we're going to have cashew and peanut butter. Yum. I know what I just realized? I forgot something. That was an angry sounding blender. I just realized I forgot my honey, which is over at the bar. So I'm going to have someone help me with that. Grab me my honey. It's behind the bar. Thanks, Stefan, who is my amazing assistant camera guy. Not my assistant, not at all my assistant. Acting as one right now because I forgot an ingredient. He is running over to grab my honey. So I just broke down that big chunk of peanut butter because it was in the refrigerator, so it was a bit hard. So I broke that down, adding it back on, give it another blend. There we go. Amazing. So I've got my peanut butter and I've got my cashews in here. Smells awesome, but we want to add some more stuff. So this is a basic nut butter. You can use this, you know, on sandwiches. You can use this as a topping for pancakes, whatever. This is our cup with a hint of delicious coconut. Amazing. So now we're going to add a few more ingredients, and this is to make it into the dessert. First thing I'm going to add is some vanilla. So this is just some nice organic vanilla extract. I'm going to be generous, about 1.5 teaspoons of that. I'm going to add in some honey. So this is just an organic honey from Costa Rica here. I'm going to add in about 3 or 4 tablespoons. This is a lot. It's a lot of nut butter here. Maybe a bit more sea salt. Like I said, I like sweet and salty. Then I like to add in a little bit of an extra protein, good fat boost. So what I have here is a vanilla collagen powder. And I use a lot of collagen for my gut and for just overall health, healthy skin and nails and all of that stuff. So that one's a vanilla flavored collagen powder. And then I'm going to put that back on the blender and just give it a good whirl. Whoop. Just to combine. Dun, dun, dun. Done. So good. Smell the vanilla. So now I'm going to dump this into my mixing bowl here. Oh, a cashew just fell out of my... You got a temperature warning? Okay. It's really, really hot, so the camera might die. And if that's the case, my friends, I'll do an update for you guys on Facebook afterwards, maybe live from our computer. Our camera right now is overheating. It is crazy warm here today. So I'm going to go quick. Dun, dun, dun. Nut butter into the bowl. Now I'm going to add one quick ingredient here, coconut flour. And this is just a way to make sure that when we serve this, it's not going to melt in our hand right away. Just adding a bit more substance to this. So I'm adding the coconut flour, and I'm just going to stir that through. Works well because we have coconut oil in there. Yum. And it also gives it a bit of a lightness, again, so it's not so heavy with all of the nuts. So it's almost like a whipped nut butter in texture right now once you get that coconut flour mixed in there. So good. Voila. On my little portable stove top, I have a few of these vegan dark chocolate chips that we buy here in Costa Rica. Just, pure dark chocolate that I have melted over here in a double boiler, or what we call in Costa Rica here, a baño Maria. So this is just a metal bowl over top of a pot of water that I've had on just a medium heat. And the steam from the water is coming up and melting the chocolate. So I have a perfectly melted chocolate that hasn't seized up or anything because it's just been melting really gently. And then all we need to do is you've probably guessed it by now, is make our little peanut butter cup form. So what I have here is a well-used muffin tin. So what we make our famous banana muffins in every morning here at Rythmia. And I've just lined them with some natural paper liners. And then I'm just going to use my spoons to scoop a good chunk of this peanut butter into the bottom of each of these. I'll do a few here. Dun, 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 dun. Give it a little shimmy shake, and this is what's just helped flatten that peanut butter out. You see that it's got nice and flat. Then you take some of your melted chocolate, some of that on top. Each of these precious little light and fluffy peanut butter cups. Again, I'm not being too concerned about how perfect it is because, again, I'm going to do this. That's going to flatten out the chocolate. I could put more on there, but I'm all about the peanut butter, and the chocolate's just a bonus. And then what you do is you just set these into the freezer or the refrigerator. I like to put, into the freezer, and then I keep them stored in the freezer. But I put them in the freezer until they're completely firmed up, solid frozen, and then I store them in a mason jar like this, stacked, really easy for storage. Dun, 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 dun. Now this is one of the ones that I made yesterday for my family at home. Really, really delicious. Here, I'm going to cut it. It's for Stefan and I to enjoy right now. Cup of coffee with this. Come on. Whoops, it's melted already. Beautiful. I'm going to take this half, put it on a plate. It's melted because it is so hot out. Because it is coconut oil, when it's in a warm place, it liquefies. So I'm going to hand that off to Stefan. There we go. And then, cheers, my friends. I mean, now my mouth is full of peanut butter. We're stuck to the roof of my mouth. Oh my God. I make them every week, and I swear every week they're getting better. So good. There's a nice texture from the coconut flour in that. This particular batch that I made with the white chocolate, I had maple syrup in it as the sweetener instead of honey, so it's a slightly different nuance on the sweet flavor. So good. Make this. This is a better version of a peanut butter cup. You know all the ingredients. You get to pick your favorite chocolate. I use white chocolate for when we make it at home usually because I like the dark chocolate, keeps me up at night. So you can play around with that. You could do a mint flavored version. Do whatever you want. Enjoy, explore, and play. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Can't wait to see you again next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your Sunday. Bye, guys.